Krishna. Okay, who else? Jasmai Mataji also joins. Sarveda Mataji. Okay, Hare Krishna. Welcome all devotees.
Pranam
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna Mataji. Thank you for joining. Krishna. So, Thursday, we have completed up to 7.10.6. Last verse was 6 we completed. So, today we will start with verse number 7 onwards of chapter 10. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tado Jayamudire. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवतेरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टगी मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम् ओमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपागतामह्यं ददान्ति सपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांशां श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणरघुनाथान्वितं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं वर्जनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांशां हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगल्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देव गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. Welcome once more all devotees. Hare Krishna. So we will start with verse number 7, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna today. Yedi dasyasi me kaman varamstvam varadarshabha. Yedi dasyasi me kaman varamstvam varadarshabha. Kamanam hridya samroham bhavadastu vrinevaram. Kamanam hridya samroham bhavadastu vrinevaram. Translation purported by His Divine Grace Abhayacharana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation: O my Lord, best of the givers of benediction, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart there be no material desires. Translation once more. O my Lord, best of the givers of benediction, if you at all want to bestow a desirable benediction upon me, then I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart there be no material desires. Purport. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught us how to pray for benediction from the Lord. He said, Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavidam va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmani shware, bhavada bhaktirakaitu gitai. O my Lord, I do not want from you any amount of wealth, nor money, nor many followers, nor a beautiful wife, for these are all materialistic desires. But if I have to ask you for any benediction, I pray that in whatever forms of life I may take my birth, under any circumstances, I will not be bereft of your transcendental devotional service. Devotees are always on the positive platform. In contrast, in contrast to the Mayavadis, who want to make everything impersonal or void. One cannot remain void, Shunyavadi. Rather, one must possess something. Therefore, the devotee on the positive side wants to possess something, and this possession is very nicely described by Prahlada Maharaja, who says, if I must take some benediction from you, I pray that within the core of my heart there may be no material desires. The desires to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not at all material. Hare Krishna, Swami. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare,
Nanda Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Nanda Pranams. My humble obeisances to all assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Very beautiful verse actually we are discussing.
Yes.
And the chapter itself entitled Prahlad, the best among exalted devotees, called Bhakta Shiromani. Yeah, Bhakta Shiromani means he's a crest jewel. Like among the incarnations, they say Sabhavatara, Shara Shiromani, Kevala. And now we are approaching the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so he is called the crest jewel of all the incarnations. Sabhavatara, Shara Shiromani. Shiromani means he's a crest jewel. Among all the incarnations, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considered to be the crest jewel because he is the most munificent and magnanimous and merciful incarnation of the Supreme Lord. So, like that, among the Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considered to be the best. And among the devotees, Prahlada Maharaj is considered to be the best. That's why we say Bhakta Shiromani, Prahlada Maharaj. Why he is mentioned as Shiromani? Because of this, what we are seeing, his attitude, we can see that even though the Lord is appeared in front of him, and he is personally asking him that whatever boon you want, please ask. But Prahlad Maharaj, because of this, is called Shiromani, because he did not desire from the core of his heart any material boons. So even though he was born in an Asuric family, an Asuric family means they are normally having more enjoying tendency. So Prabhupada always says, what is Asura? Asura means not people with four hands or four head. Not that is not Asura. Asura means who is having more enjoying propensity. That way Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu is one who is after soft bed and gold. Hiranyakashipu. So anybody who is having this intense enjoying propensity, he is classified in the Shastras Asura. So he is taken birth in that same family. Now, materially speaking, we say genes. No, like father, like son, they say. So even though he was born in a demonic family, to a demonic father, but still he was Bhakta Shiromani. So that one thing we understand, that birth is not the criteria for bhakti. We can take birth anywhere, but inside if you have a desire to please the Lord, then it is not from which family we have come. That's why Prabhupada initiated the devotees all around the world. He did not see that he is a Brahmana or he is a Shudra. No. He went to America, he initiated, because anywhere devotees can appear. It is not based on the birth. Even though the caste Brahmanas in India, they criticized Prabhupada for doing like that. Why? How come you can give Diksha to these Mlechas? Mlechas means who are fallen, who are not outside the Vedic path. And Prabhupada said, no, this is not coming by birth. Okay, it is coming by quality. Krishna very clearly says, Chaturvarna Mayashram Guna Karma. Guna and Karma, based on the quality and based on the work. So if anybody is taking up the preaching work of the Krishna consciousness, he is considered to be actually a Brahmana, even though he may not be in a Brahmana. Who are serving the Lord, he is also considered to be higher than the Brahmana. Vaishnava is actually even higher than the Brahmana platform. So in that way, we can see Prahlad Maharaj, even though born in a demonic family, and even though the Lord personally tempting him, but Lord itself asking, now you ask, now if he's asking, the Lord will give, but still he is actually not asking any boon. Why he is not asking? Because his bhakti is very pure. His bhakti is very, very pure. So such kind of souls are very rare. But here we can see Prahlada Maharaj. That's why he's one of the Mahajanas. Mahajana. Among 12 Mahajana, Prahlada Maharaj is considered to be one of the Mahajana. Now, another beauty of Prahlada Maharaj is, we may say, okay, sannyasi, he may not have any desire. Okay, because for him nothing. There's no need for him to save money in the bank. There is no family to take care. But here Prahlada Maharaj is actually a uh, grasta. He's a family person. So still he was exhibiting pure bhakti. Like Srila Prabhupada also was a family person. Still he was exhibiting pure bhakti. So it is not a criteria that we should be only a sannyasi to have pure bhakti. Anybody, provided they have the pure heart, they can exhibit pure bhakti. So here we can see Prahlad Maharaj is exhibiting such kind of bhakti, unalloyed bhakti, without anything in return. And this is very wonderful verse actually. You can see during Narsimha Chaturdasi, it is always recommended. Srila Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj, in his class, he is reciting the same verse actually, what is recited today. In Narsimha Chaturdasi class, he is saying, what we have to pray to Narsimha Deva on Narsimha Chaturdasi. He is telling, we have to recite this verse. Yedi dasyasi me kaman varam stum varatarshava kamanam hridi aswamroham bhavatastu vrinevaram. So this verse we have to recite on the Narsimha Chaturdasi, appearance day of Lord Narsimha. Every day also we can recite. It's always good. But specifically because this is the benediction or blessing Prahlad Maharaj requested from Narsimha Dev. So same thing we can also request from Narsimha Dev Bhagavan. That what is that? Edi dasyasi me kaman varam stum varadarshava kamanam hridi aswamroham bhavatastu vrinevaram. What is the meaning? So here Prahlad Maharaj is saying, because Narsimha Dev is insisting, no, you have to take some boon. Then Prahlad Maharaj is saying, oh my Lord, the best of the givers of benediction, if at all you want to give me some benediction upon me, then I also, okay, I will ask you something. What is that? I pray from your Lordship that within the core of my heart, there will be no material desires. This is a very, very wonderful prayer. If somebody will pray like this, their problems is solved. Because whatever problem we are facing here is actually because of material desires. Lord Buddha also said, why we are suffering in this world? It is because of our desire is the root cause of all the suffering in this world. So that is Buddha's conclusion, Lord Buddha's conclusion. Because we desire, we engage in some activities, then that is creating some reaction. Because of the reaction, we will suffer. So there is a thought, then there is a action. After the action, there is a reaction. That reaction leads to suffering. What is that suffering? When there is a material desire, there will be definitely a suffering because of that material desire. So Prahlad Maharaj is very intelligently satisfying Narsimhadev Bhagwan's request also. At the same time, he is also not getting entangled. So because the Lord asked some benediction, he is asking benediction, but at the same time, he is making sure that he will not get entangled by that benediction. So that is why devotee is called as Daksha, means expert. He is expert in everything. See how he is asking the benediction from the Lord. He is simultaneously pleasing the Lord. At the same time, he is also getting purified. Not already is purified. He will make sure that he is always purified. Okay. So this removing this material desires from our heart, no, it is the biggest achievement if any sadhaka devotee can achieve. Because his desires are not very easy. The material desires actually take one away from Krishna. It is taking away far and far. So one time Prabhupada was asked, like Prabhupada said, see the Western devotees and also the Vedic culture followers also there in India, Bharatavarsha. What is the difference? One reporter asked. Then he said, yes, the Indian people, they already know about Krishna, but they are again going very, very far from Krishna. They know Krishna, but they are moving away from Krishna. But the Western people, they do not know about Krishna, but now they are moving closer to Krishna because they are actually getting purified. By the process of getting purification, we move closer to the Krishna. But the process by which we are too much entangled in material desires, we know Krishna, but we are moving away from Krishna. So two things are there. One is we all know Krishna, but one category is moving towards Krishna, and one category is moving away from Krishna. So here that material desires are actually one of the root cause, and it is not easy while we are living in the material world. Material desires are bound to come. But how a sadhu will react? A sadhu or saintly person, even though the material desire is coming, he will not act on that material desire. So the saintly people also, they may get some temptation. Momentarily they may get some temptation. Prabhupada said it is natural. As long as you have the material body, you will also everybody will have material temptations, they'll have lust, everything. But they will not act on that. Because in Kali Yuga it is said that whatever comes in the mind, it is not sin. But when you act, it becomes sin. So Krishna also says that they are in the Bhagavad Gita that material desires are coming like river entering the ocean. They will come, but it will not disturb the ocean. It will not disturb the saintly person. So we should not think that, okay, if I am a pure devotee, then I should not get any material. There will be material desires, but we should not act on those material desires, or we should not encourage the material desires. Now, Prabhupada gives an example also. Like when we get fever, it is natural we get fever, but when we take medicine, it will come reduce. But we should not increase the fever. So material desire is like fever. We should not aggravate it more and more, but we should chant the holy name and try to purify ourselves. So that is one important, very, very important verse we can memorize also. And if you want to memorize, we can repeat. When we go in front of the Lord, we can always recite this prayer. Edi dasyasi me kama varamstam varadarshava kamanam hridi asamroham bhavatastu hridevram. Very powerful prayer. If you pray regularly, then Krishna will bless us that within the core of the heart, there will be no more material desires. So very, very important verse and a very, very important purport and verse to memorize. So we'll go to Prabhupada's purport here. Prabhupada immediately quotes from Sishashtakam. Sishashtakam, the 8 verses recited by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, says the same thing. See, the Lord in the mood of the devotee, he is also praying to Krishna in the same. So that is in same prayer is saying. What is that prayer? Na dhanam. See, no material desire means na dhanam, no material wealth. Na janam, no followers. Na sundari, no, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a male, he is saying that I don't want any beautiful woman. Na sundari. Kavitamba jagadisha kame. Or I don't want any kind of fame. In this material world, Jagadisha Kame, these material things I don't want. Then what I want? It's also very powerful prayers. Mama Janmani Janmani Ishware, Bhavatat Bhaktir Haituki Tvai. If you feel that the previous verse Bhagavatam is difficult to memorize, then this verse is very easy. Na Danam Na Janam Na Sundarim Kavitama Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmani Janmani Ishware Bhavatat Bhaktir Haituki Tvai. So this is the same what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a devotee is praying, and Prahlada Maharaj as a devotee is also praying the same to Narsimhadev. So Mama Janmani Janmani means birth after birth. Birth after Janmani Janmani. Bhavatat Bhakti. I want to perform devotional service unto your lotus feet. So this is what said here. Very beautiful prayer in Shashtakam. Na Danam, Na Janam, Na Sundarim. Kavitamba Jagadisha. Now whoever is going to God, now whoever is going to temple, normally they are praying for this. This is the difference. Nadhanam, people are praying that I want good wealth when we are going, like when people are praying, Prabhupada also says in lecture, like they are going to Durga Devi, they are saying that Dehi, Janam Dehi, Dhanam Dehi, Putram Dehi, Yasho Dehi. Dehi means give. So normally they go to the Lord and pray that give me wealth, give me Aishwarya, give me beauty, give me knowledge, give me wealth. So this is exactly opposite. This is exactly opposite prayer of what general mass is praying. So when the general mass is praying, they are making God as a servant. God as a servant means supplier. Like you go to a hotel and ask, I want dosa, I want idli, I want, we ask, and the server is coming and serving you. Okay. So same way we are asking God, give me this, give me that, then the Lord is actually giving you. Okay. So you are making God as your servant. But what is actually our position? We are actually servant of the Lord. Ulta, it is different, exactly opposite. That's famous verse is there, no? Ekala Ishwara Krishna Arsha Pritya. Means everybody is a servant, Jivera Swarupaya Krishnayara Nityadas. So we are actually servant, but we are asking Krishna to become our servant by fulfilling our material desires. But here, as a pure devotee, they are coming to their Swarupa. Mama Janmani Janmani Ishware Bhavatat Bhakti Haituki means I again want to become your servant or reinstate into my original position as servant. I want to serve you birth after birth. So this is the difference between a person who is praying to the Lord without the knowledge of Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and a person who has the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. A person who does not have scriptural knowledge goes to the Lord. He also prays to the Lord. He visits temple 3 times a day, but he will ask, Dhanam Dehi, Yasho Dehi, 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 Dehi. But a person with scriptural knowledge, he also goes to the Lord and he says that Mama Janmani Janmani Ishware Bhavatat Bhakti Haitu. So you see 180-degree difference. Both are going to the temple. For a common man, if somebody is going to the temple, we say, oh, he's a very nice person. Morning, early morning, he's going to the temple, and evening after office also, he's going to the temple. See, such a person, very difficult to find in this world. But Krishna is seeing the heart. Krishna is called as, he's, what is that called? Baba. He's actually, he sees only the intent of the person, like what we are looking for. When we are going to the Lord, what we are praying for. So somebody is going and asking repeatedly to the Lord, he is not considered to be a pure devotee. He is, we can say, is karma mishra bhakti. He is actually contaminated. He is asking for material benediction. So externally, we cannot judge a person because he is going to the temple that is a very nice person. Because he may have so many thousands of material desires to be fulfilled. So here we can see, oh my Lord, I do not want from you any amount of wealth, nor many followers, na dhanam, na janam, nor sundari, nor a beautiful wife. For these are all materialistic desires. But if I have to ask you for any benediction, I pray that whatever form of life I may take my birth, under any circumstances, I will not be bereft of your transcendental devotion. This is such a beautiful prayer. But saying is easy, following is, challenging. It takes time. It takes a lot of sadhana, a lot of effort, a lot of association, a lot of hearing to slowly purify your heart to come to this platform. So Prabhupada writes here, devotees are always on the positive platform. What is that positive platform? There is 3 kinds of platform, you can say. One is negative platform. Negative platform means you are taking so much from God. Dhanam Dehi, Yasho Dehi, Dehi, Dehi. That is negative platform. And neutral platform is the Mayavadis. Mayavadis is telling everything is zero. I don't want anything. I don't want anything material. I don't want anything spiritual also. Okay. So I don't want anything material. I don't want any material. I don't want any spiritual. Both are actually, it is called neutral or zero. That is called impersonal. That's called shunyavad, zero. Impersonal or void. But here, asking for something spiritual, it is positive. That's what Prabhupada writes here. One cannot remain void, shunyavadi. Shunyavadi means zero. Rather, one must possess something. Something is that positive. Therefore, the devotee is on positive side. What is that? He wants to possess something. And this possession is very nicely described by Prahlada Maharaj, who says that if I must take some benediction from you, I pray that within the core of my heart, there may be no material desires. The desire to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not at all material. So here Prabhupada quotes one important verse, actually, as a statement. The desire to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead is actually not material. So if you have some desire, like I want to serve the Lord again and again, if I want to desire serve the Lord, it is not material. So like one time Srila Jayapatraswami Maharaj also asked Srila Prabhupada, the younger, the initial days, that I am having more and more desire to chant, more and more desire to do some service. Is it also material? The Prabhupada said, no, that desire is always appreciated and it is called spiritual desire. If I wish to chant more rounds, it is actually spiritual desire. That is always encouraged. In this pastime, like there is one with one of the disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. We all heard that one person, he was not at all doing any service, but he was only sitting and chanting. All the devotees were going out to book distribution, collecting donation. But this person whole day he will sit and chant. So they were going and complaining to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj. He is simply sitting and always chanting. We are going running here and there. But he is simply sitting whole day in the ashram. He's not going out. Outside there is hot, there is cold. He's not taking any tapasya. He's only simply sitting and chanting. Then Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj said, like, okay, we will put an ad in the newspaper that we will provide free food, free accommodation, everything. and all whatever he requires for his life sustenance. But he has to just come and stay in the Mada 24 hours. He has to be with us. Put the ad, let us see how many people will come. And they put the ad, nobody came forward. Then he said, to chant 24 hours, it's not an easy thing. To chant 64 rounds is not an easy thing. No, that is also purification. That is also tapasya. It's not that only if I go outside and do book distribution, it is called no. So Bhakti said anything spiritual. If you want chanting more rounds, if you are for doing more service to the Lord, if you are offering maybe somebody offering 3 times
Yes.
bhoga, if somebody desires to offer 5 times bhoga to the Lord, that is spiritual desire. So in that way, all these things, if you desire that I want to serve the Lord in whatever way, all those desires are going to be spiritual, and all those desires will purify us from our core of the from our heart. So this is the understanding here, and devotees can please feel free to highlight any points if you are read or if you have any questions or any doubts on this. We can ask. Of course,
Thank you.
it's a long way to go for all of for a sadhaka devotee, but this is the ideal. This is where we have to reach finally, because by our sadhana we have to reach to the stage that I do not want anything. Like Srila Prabhupada, at the last moment when he was leaving his body, he said, "Kuch ichha nahi hai." Means he said like this. Kuch ichha means I don't have any more desire. So that is that stage everybody has to reach by their sadhana. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank
So any questions or any
you.
comments?
Anybody
Hare
want hard? Madhi Mataji, Sarvada Mataji, I manage in the office. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for that very nice explanation of this very important sloka in Bhagavad Gita. As you said, to curb material desire is very difficult, isn't it, Prabhu? So it is
Yeah,
like
Mataji. Yes, very true.
it's like
It's not.
waves in the ocean.
Yeah.
But as you said, we can channelize our material desire to serve
Yes.
the Supreme
Dovetail.
Personality. Yeah,
Hmm.
dovetail,
Dovetail.
dovetail
That
our.
is one way we can at least, enjoy just like all these things, as you said, Mataji. Correct.
By dovetailing our material desires, we can try to achieve that pure state that is said in Bhagavatam, like Vasudeva state, that is that dormant Krishna consciousness inside our heart. It is there inside our heart, naturally
Dormant.
present, dormant as a dormant. So there is a section in Chaitanya Charitamrita in which in Varnashri Tapana Mishra, he was
Yes,
very
Mataji.
confused, and he had many questions in his mind. Who am I? What is the purpose of life? And he was going on asking to many scholars and teachers, elderly persons, but their answers couldn't satisfy him. Then he had a dream in the night that Mahaprabhu has come near your place. Go and meet him. Like that, he had a dream. And
Mm.
Tapana Mishra went there to meet Mahaprabhu, and he asked this question: Who am I, and what is the purpose of life? Like Sanatana Goswami
Yeah, yeah.
asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, this Jivera Swarupa Krishnera Nitya Dasa.
Yes.
And by hearing this, Tapana Mishra was fully satisfied, and he surrendered to the Supreme Personality of God. So that desire should come inside us, isn't it, Prabhu? To
Yes, Mataji. Very, very true.
serve the Lord.
Yes, serve the Lord in any way, any way. Maybe somebody is serving the Lord by hearing about the Lord. That is a taste. Somebody can
Mm,
serve the Lord. Like we have all this 9 process, no, Mataji? Shravanam,
mm,
Kirtanam.
mm,
Somebody can
mm,
sing, like Mataji has very nicely singing. By singing, he can also go closer to Krishna.
mhm,
Somebody can Shravanam, Kirtanam, then Smaranam, remembering the Lord. All this
mm,
process.
mm,
Yeah,
mm,
Prabhupada says any one process is also enough to go, to reach the lotus feet of the Lord. Any one process,
mm,
whichever is our, inclination.
mm,
Somebody in the
mm,
Dasya Bhav, somebody always want to hear about Krishna. Somebody always want to chant more rounds, that is their Kirtanam,
mm,
Smaranam. Pada Sevanam. Somebody want to do Archanam. Like in South India, many things are focused on Archanam only, like temples and they do very elaborate worship and Archanam. Then becoming Sakyam is very high level because very like Mirabai or Sakyam, I think is very exalted level. It's not like for common people cannot. It's very elevated. Say Sakyam and Madhurya also is very elevated. Of course, Krishna consciousness is teaching Madhurya Bhav only, but at the sadhaka stage, we have to, it takes time to reach that platform. Normally, Dasya Bhav is means little bit. It will be very easy for us to God is great and I am small and I am the servant of God. In that mood it is more like more conducive, like for us as a sadhaka.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for narrating that Tapan Mishra's past time and
Yes,
relating
Prabhu.
this relating.
Recently I heard that in a lecture. Then I remembered. I forgot. I
Yeah,
forgot that.
yeah,
Recently I heard, so I remembered.
yeah. In
Okay,
Kannada,
Prabhu.
you are
Hare
well
Krishna.
versed in Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Prabhu. My God. No,
Good, good.
not at all, Prabhu. Trying to memorize. That's all.
Nice, nice, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Mataji. Yes,
Thank you,
as
Prabhu.
we
Hare
said,
Krishna.
yeah, thank you, Mataji. As Mataji also highlighted, yeah, it's material desires, the challenging because we are in the material world, so the contamination level is very high. So the possibility of infection is also very like one time there is COVID. Everybody was having COVID, so it was easily you will get infected. Like that, this material world is full of rajoguna and tamoguna. So easily we can get infected in the material world. So it is challenge. So as one thing is to dovetail our desires with Krishna. We want to travel, we have to travel along with the holy places. Like everything we can dovetail. In that way, whatever we have, we can fulfill at the same time. It will be related to Krishna also. In that way, we can dovetail. That is one thing. And the ideal is actually to come to this stage, which is very beautifully explained by Prabhupada. And every time we want to pray to the Lord, when we go to the this thing, we can pray this one. Dasya Kaman Varta. That shloka we can memorize and recite in front of the. Whenever we go in front of the deity, we can recite this. When Krishna will kill that material desires, then our life becomes more easy. From the heart, naturally love will come out. Because that one, the material desires only is covering. As we said, it is already dormant. It is not something to be developed. It is already dormant, but it is covered with material desires. So once the material desires are removed, automatically it will exhibit. We can naturally exhibit the love for Krishna. So that will be there. Hare Krishna.
Hare
So if
Krishna.
there are any further discussions, otherwise you can go to the lectures.
No, Guruji. We'll go to the next verse, Guruji.
Yeah. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Verse number 8 we will read. Somebody want to read?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th Canto, Chapter 10, Sloka number 8. Indriyani manah prana atmadharmo dutirmatihi hiristvisteja smruti satyam yasya vasyanti janmana indriyani manah prana atmadharmo dhrutirmatihi ह्रीस्वीतेजः स्मृतिः सत्यं यस्य नश्यन्ति जन्मना. Translation. O my Lord, because of lusty desires from the very beginning of one's birth, the functions of one's senses, mind, life, body, religion, patience, intelligence, shayness, opulence, strength, memory, and truthfulness are vanquished. Translation once again. O my Lord, because of lusty desires from the very beginning of one's birth, the religion, patience, intelligence, shayness, opulence, strength, memory, and truthfulness are vanquished. Purport. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Kamam Hrud Drogam. Materialistic life means that one is afflicted by a formidable disease called lusty desire. Liberation means freedom from lusty desires because it is only due to such desires that one must accept repeated birth and death. As long as one's lusty desires are unfulfilled, one must take birth after birth to fulfill them. Because of material desires, therefore, one performs various types of activities and receives various types of bodies with which to try to fulfill desires that are never satisfied. The only remedy is to take to devotional service, which begins when one is free from all material desires. Anya Abhilashita Sunyam. Anya Abhilashita means material desire and Sunyam means free form. The spiritual soul has spiritual activities and spiritual desires. As described by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mama Janmani Janmanishware Bhavatad Bhaktira Haituki Twayi. Unallied devotion to the service of the Lord is the only spiritual desire. To fulfill this spiritual desire, however, one must be free from all material desires. Desirelessness means freedom from material desires. This is described by Srila Rupa Goswami as Anyabhilashita Sunyam. As soon as one has material desires, one loses his spiritual identity. Then all the paraphernalia of one's life, including one's senses, body, religion, patience, and intelligence, are deviated from one's original Krishna consciousness. As soon as one has material desires, one cannot properly use his senses, intelligence, mind, and so on for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Mayavadi philosophers want to become impersonal, senseless, and mindless, but that is not possible. The living entity must be living, always existing with desires, ambitions, and so on. This should be purified, however, so that one can desire spiritually and be spiritually ambitious without material contamination. In every living entity, these propensities exist because he is a living entity. When materially contaminated, however, one, one is put into the hands of material misery. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi. If one wants to stop repeated birth and death, one must take to the devotional service of the Lord. Sarvopadi Vinurmuktam Tat Paratvena Nirmalam. Hrushikeshena Hrushikesa Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. Bhakti or devotional service means engaging all our senses in the service of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Master of all the senses, when the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme. They are two side effects. One is freed from all material designations, and simply by being employed in the service of the Lord, one's senses are purified. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So another wonderful verse and translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. See, verse number 7 is actually prayer to the Lord by Prahlada Maharaj, saying that he do not want any material desires. That is prayer. And why he is praying like that? Because in the 8th verse he is telling the negative effects of the material desires. See, this is the reason why he is saying, I don't want any material desires. Somebody may think, why he has to pray like that? So here actually Prahlada Maharaj is highlighting what are the negative effects of the material desires. So let us read the translation, which Prahlada Maharaj is praying towards the Lord Narasimhadev Bhagwan. Oh my Lord, because of lusty desires from the very beginning of one's birth, what happens? The functions of one's senses, mind, life, body, religion, patience, intelligence, shyness, affluence, strength, memory, and truthfulness are all vanquished. See how many things he is highlighting. 1 senses, 2 mind, 3 life, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All these things are getting vanquished because of one factor called lusty desire. So Prabhupada is giving wonderful purport for this. He's giving the, like already Prahlada Maharaj is giving very elaborate this thing, and Prabhupada is topping up with his special purpose. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Kama Hridi Rogam. This is a disease actually. Rogam means disease. And this Kama is considered as a Rogam. Same Krishna highlights in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Kamesha Krodesha Rajoguna Samudva Mahasana Mahapatma Vidyeva Vairinam. It is an eternal enemy. And it is here, and Bhagavatam says it's a Rogam, disease. Materialistic life means one is afflicted by a formidable disease called lusty disease. So this is material life. So simple definition for materialistic life means what? Only one line. Materialistic life means one is afflicted by a formidable disease. Why formidable disease? Because it is continuing birth after birth. Formidable disease called lusty desire. And what is liberation means? Moksha means freedom from lusty desire. So whenever we are free from lusty desire, we are considered to be already liberated. Moksha. Why? Because of this lusty desire only, one is accepting this cycle of birth and death. Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam is only because of this kamam. Very important statement. Because of this lust only, we are actually repeatedly undergoing birth and death. And as long as one's lusty desires are unfulfilled, one must take birth after birth to fulfill them. So Krishna is seeing that when we are about to leave the body, he is seeing that already some desires are still not fulfilled for us. So he is telling, okay, I will give you one more chance. Take another body and try to fulfill. But problem is, these lusty desires, however you satisfy, it will never get fulfilled. That is the problem. It is like you are pouring water in a pot which is having a hole. The water will never get fulfilled. So like that, our mind is having this hole. However we try to satisfy our lusty desire, it is not going to be fulfilled birth after birth. So intelligent people, they understand this and they say no more material desires or no more to lust. Because of material desire, therefore one has to perform various type of activities. So this desire propels the Jivatma to do various activities and receives various type of reactions as bodies. Karmana deva nitrena jantur dehopapatye. So it is because of our karma, we get different types of body, which we try to fulfill the desires that are never satisfied. So there are 8,400,000 species of life. Every body has a unique potential to enjoy a certain type of sense enjoyment. Like a fish can always swim in the water. That is the body given to fish. But we cannot swim always in the water. 1 hour, 2 hours, then after that our body will come discomfort. So a bird can have a special body, it can always fly in the air. But we can fly maybe 3 hours, 4 hours, then we get exhausted. So it is like that. Every kind of body is having a unique capability for sense enjoyment. Like pigeon, pig. So Prabhupada gives many examples. And the only remedy is to take to devotional service. Now, if this lust cannot be satisfied, and the lust is always bothering us by keeping us in the cycle of birth and birth, then what is the remedy? The remedy is only to take to devotional service, which begin when one is free from material desire. Anya Bilashada Sunyam. So, we have Bhagavad Gita one slok also. Na sochati na kamchati samasarva bhuteshu mad bhakti lavate param. So when we are free from this lamentation and hankering of material things, then we are actually coming to this platform of Suddha Sattva or Vasudeva, that platform which is actually beginning of bhakti. Anya Vilashada Sunyam Jnana Karma Dhinavaratam Anukulyena Krishnana Silana Bhakti Uttamam. The spiritual soul has spiritual activities. As the body is actually engaged in material activities, the soul is engaged in spiritual activities and spiritual desires. Already we saw what is spiritual desire. When we want to serve the Lord in any of these 9 ways, that is called the spiritual desire. I described by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mama Janmani Janmani Ishware Bhavatat Bhakti Haituki Tvai. So unalloyed devotion is a service to the Lord, is the only spiritual desire. Proper is what is that spiritual desire here. And to fulfill the spiritual desire, what we should do? One must be free from all material desires. So it is, see, these are both are there. Simon to like track, one side is material desire, one is spiritual desire. If you give up material desire, then only we can develop spiritual desire. And when the spiritual desires are developing, then material desires will reduce. So Prabhupada says the test of progress in bhakti in spiritual life is how much our taste for material life has reduced. So both are inversely proportional. Inversely proportional means one is reducing, the other will increase. If material desires increase, spiritual desires will reduce. If spiritual desires will increase, material desires will reduce. So that is the equation. Then all the paraphernalia of one's life, including one's senses, body, religion, patience, so these are all affected by lust. As soon as one has material desires, one cannot properly use his senses. We already, Prahlada Maharaj said. And Mayavadi philosophers want to become impersonal. Shunyavad. Shunyavad. Nirvishesh. Nirvishesh means impersonal. But that is not possible. One important statement Prabhupada is giving. We want to become desireless, but it is not possible because we cannot live without desire. Without desire, no, we become crazy. We have to have some desire. That is called positive. Engagement should be there. Positive engagement. This neutral will not help. You are a negative, you are busy. Even somebody who is in sense enjoyment, if he is ignorant, he is always busy, no problem for him. He is always enjoying life. From morning to night, he is always planning how to enjoy and he is enjoying life. And then he will die and he will take birth according to his karma. And who is having spiritual desire also, no problem. He is always meditating how to serve Krishna, how to give this Krishna consciousness. He is very busy. He is enjoying a higher taste. Materialistic, they are enjoying the lower taste, but both are busy. Spiritual people, they are enjoying higher taste, they are also busy. Materialist people, they are enjoying the lower taste, they are also busy. But in between these Mayavadis, they are neither in the higher taste nor in the lower taste. They are in between, the neutral stage. Like that, you cannot means sustain for a long time. It is like your life will not be very tasteful. It becomes very difficult because life means desires. So, Prabhupada writes here, the living entity must be living, always exist with desires, ambitions, and so on. So, what we have to do, we have to purify. That is what we discussed previous verse, dovetailed. Dovetailing means purifying. However, so that one desires spiritually and spiritually ambitious without material contamination. And in every living entity, these propensities exist because he is a living entity. As we discussed also, that we will have desire. It is not that we will have material desires also. As we said, it is not easy. But only thing is we have to somehow connect every desire to Krishna. That is one wanted. However, when one material is contaminated, one is put into material misery, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi. If you at all one wants to stop the birth and death, one must only solution is you have to take to the devotional service of the Lord. Sarvapadi Vinir Muktam Tatparantvena Nirmalam Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Ruchate. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, 19th chapter, verse number 170. Bhakti or devotional service means engaging all our senses in the service of the Lord. And best example is Ambarish Maharaj. We already referred from Srimad Bhagavatam. Saivai Mana Krishna Padara Vidyo Vacham Sivaikunta Gunanu. So Ambarish Maharaj used all the senses for serving the Lord. Like eyes to see the beautiful forms of the Lord, ears to hear about the glories of the Lord, tongue to glorify the Lord and to taste the remnants offered to the Lord, and leg to walk to the temples and the holy places, hand to cleanse the temple, and the mind to think about the Lord. Like that, he enjoyed he enjoyed all the senses. That is called Rishikena, Rishikesha, Sevanam, Bhakti, Uchate. And master of all senses, by engaging the senses in the service of the Lord. When the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are two side effects. One is freed from material designation, and simply by employed in the service of the Lord, one's senses are becoming purified. And Prabhupada says that how the senses are purified, it is like you take a snake, the snake has poison in the teeth, in the tongue. Or when you remove the tongue, poison. If you go near Chennai, there is a snake farm. Big snake farm is there in Chennai. And there you can go play with the snake. There is no problem because all the snakes, they are removed the poison from its tongue. So like that, when one is engaged, these senses are actually considered like the venomous snake poison. These senses, because it will entangle us into birth and death. But when you are engaging Rishikena, Rishikesha Sevanam, when you are engaging your senses, it is like the poison is already removed from the senses. Then the same eye, there is no problem. Same ear, there is no problem because it becomes harmless. It becomes harmless. Same like I said, the snakes, you can play with them. They cannot do anything with you. Like that, the senses become purified when you do. So how do you purify? By engaging the service of the Lord, engaging the senses in the service of the Lord. How do you engage the senses in the service of the Lord? You can visually want to see, we can see a lot of things which is related to Krishna, Krishna's pastimes, and Krishna's beautiful form. That's why, in the temple, they decorate the Lord so beautifully that people sometimes stand there for 1 hour and they see the Lord from the lotus feet to head, the garland, the face, the decorations, and the paraphernalia, all those things. Years, like we are hearing Bhagavatam now for past 1 hour, we are engaging on the sense of the hearing by hearing from the glories of the Lord, from the scripture. And while we are simultaneously hearing, we are also remembering also the Lord, like that, we are engaging the mind. Then we are using our hand to do some service to the Lord. We are performing Abhishekam, we are dressing up the Lord. We are doing some seva, physical seva, cooking, bhoga seva, like that. And leg also we are using. Like that, the senses are given some positive engagement. Then that positive engagement will give us to enlightenment. So that is a message very beautifully Prahlada Maharaj says. So 7 and 8. 7 is saying, I don't want any material desires. And he's saying, why he don't want any material desires? He's giving the verse number 8 to the Lord. Hare Krishna. So any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Also, we would like to,
Everybody,
we have to thank, pray for
both of them very important verses, Prabhuji, right?
Sorry, Prabhu.
No, both of them today which we read, both of them are important verses.
Yeah, both are important. Why material desire not required and what is the negative? Why we should not pray? And what is the reason? Somebody asks why, people ask, we have to pray to Lord, good job, good money, good wealth, Dhanam, Janam, Sundarim, Kavitam. So why it will keep us in the cycle of birth and death. And however we get also, we will not be satisfied. Maybe 1 year will be satisfied if you get a good job. 1 year will be satisfied and again problem will come. Then again we will ask for another job. Then we go to another job, then we will get problems. This material desires, there is no, it is like a cycle.
It decreases, it will increase only.
It will increase, correct, bro. It will increase. So that is why intelligent people, they say, okay, better, no need to desire. And without desire also we cannot live. So we substitute with spiritual desire. Like somebody smoking, they tell you have to stop smoking, you have to give some substitute to them. Then they cannot, Correct. Yes, Mataji. Yeah, I was about to announce also. Rasame Mataji is her Krishna conscious birthday today. So congratulations, Mataji, and best wishes. So we'll all pray for Mataji for the Krishna, for the blessings of the Lord upon her and her family members. That they all progress very well, nicely in the path of Krishna.
We chant 3 times Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Prabhuji.
Sure.
Spiritual
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji. Always in need of your prayers and blessings, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Happy Krishna conscious birthday, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Pranam, Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Lucky. Hare Krishna. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, I think Prabhuji, anything to add, Mataji, or anybody?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji, please.
Now one message have a birthday celebrated.
Sorry, Prabhu?
Mataji. One message have in box, Mataji celebrated birthday.
Yeah, we announce kiya na hum log. Same.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
That already announced now.
This is chat box, that's the Prabhuji highlighting.
Yes. By Sarvendra Mataji. Hare
Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. We are
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu, for giving the opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Saturday
yes, we are approaching Gaura Purnima also. So coming Friday we have program in the hall.
On
Saturday also.
It's on Friday itself, right?
Yeah.